Hello, everybody. Sunday Adelaja here from Kyiv, Ukraine, and we're welcoming all of you to this program today. And it's going to be a discussion about Nigeria and about the educational system in Nigeria and the effects of religion on education. I've heard a lot of different things about what is happening in our campuses, that there are more churches right now in those campuses than there are campuses themselves, and that a lot of people are more engulfed and engrossed in religion than in their studies. So we are not producing scholars from our universities, but we are producing pastors and religious cabals and religious bigots. So those are the people coming out of our universities. They send them there to study medicine. By the time they get there, they convert to pastors. They send them there to study engineering or law or economics. By the time they get there, they are becoming prayer warriors and praise and worship leaders. We are in crisis. So it is not only the church building that is endangered now, but the danger has gone into universities and educational institutions, tertiary institutions, because tertiary institution is supposed to produce scholarly people and scientists. There are two, what do I say? There are two things that leads to civilization. There are two things that lead to that brings people to civilization. One is scholarship or scholar. Another one is science. Two things determine civilization: scholarship and science. And that's why we have educational system. So what do I mean by scholarships? I'm not talking about people getting scholarship or getting money to go and study. No. Scholarship, I'm talking about education. Scholars, this process of producing scholars. Scholars, people who are educated, thinkers. When a society begins to produce en masse scholars, well-informed, thinking mind, thinkers, scholars, that society begins to grow and go in the direction of civilization. But just producing scholars is not enough to be civilized. But then, because if you just have scholars, you will just be like ancient Greece or ancient Rome, where you just have philosophers who will just be talking and arguing among themselves. And that's what Nigeria looks like right now. We have, even the few people we have that are educated, the only thing they do is to go on television and be arguing who is right, who can talk, who can abuse, who can do all kind of things. So just, that is, scholarship without science does not lead to progress, does not lead to advancement and to civilization. So there must be an interaction between scholarship and scholars and scientists. But I don't think we are really producing scientists in Nigeria. If you look at the number of scientists that are being produced in our country or in Africa as a whole, it's like nothing compared to the number and the amount of scientists that are being produced in all other parts of the world. We need to reorient and reorientate our educational system to the production of scientists, scholars and scientists. Scholars are the people who come up with the philosophical understanding of life, and people who have the explanation and the theory and the algorithm for all situations. But scientists are people who take the theory that the scholars have produced, the algorithms and the hypotheses the hypotheses of scientists, of scholars. They take those hypotheses and take them to the laboratory, where they will now experiment it and find out if those hypotheses actually work with real life or not. So, but we don't have research institutes like that in Nigeria so much. Not too many. If they're there, they're too few to even count with. We don't even have the Academy of Sciences or center where people are just, being talking science and how to bring, scientific solutions to, life situations. So we are in trouble. But right now, instead of producing scientists and scholars, we are producing praise and worship leaders and GOs and pastors, and let them go to Bible schools. Let them go to seminaries. But they will go there to become engineers. Instead of becoming engineers, they will becoming GOs. They will send them there to become scientists. Instead of becoming scientists, they will become religious workers. We are in trouble. Religion has destroyed science, and religion has destroyed scholarship in our nation. We need to begin to revolt against this. We need to begin to raise an alarm for the need to restore schools back for scholarship and for science purposes. If I were in the government in Nigeria, I was going to ban every religious practice in the campuses. Ban churches in the schools. Ban them. Let them go and pray in their churches in town, but not in the school. Because without scholarship being restored to our educational system, there will never be civilization or development. Without scientists being produced like the factory, we will never be developed. It will just be like a mirage. You know the reason why we have to be giving scholarship, contracts all the time, awarding contracts? Why the only thing our government can do is to award contracts? And when you want to award contracts, you've got to have Chinese or Japanese or Germans coming to get the contracts. Because we don't have scholarship and scientists. In this country, you don't see Chinese or Japanese or Germans working to build their road or to build their hospitals or to build their bridges, because they have their own people who can build anything they want to build. Even if it is submarine or planes, they don't need expertise for this. But why do we need all the expertise all the time? Because our school system don't produce people who can get the job done. And look at even our government. Even though I'm supporting Buhari to remain, but look at what they are celebrating. They will say, oh, road is built. I don't care what road is built. I want to know who built it. Have you been able to produce people who can build that road without going to China to get the road built? Oh, they say we brought plane. Oh, America got us plane. I don't care whatever plane you bought. I want to know, when are we going to build our own planes like that? I don't care how many infrastructures you have built. Who built them? Railroad. Why can't we build our own railroads? Railway. The people building railway in this country, they are their own people. Elementary, they don't even think about it, that they have to get people from anywhere to build it for them. Because the educational system here is focused on developing and raising up scientists and scholars. But instead of that happening in our institutions, what we have happening right now is the invasion of religion. Religion has invaded our educational system. And that's what we are going to be discussing today with Israel Balogun's book. Hello, Israel.
Good evening, sir.
We want to talk today about educational system and religion. Because this is your burden. I know you care about this, and you have a burden for this. What can you tell us about this issue?
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, I am so grateful to be here again. Let me first say that this problem is one out of many other problems that our educational system is facing today. Religious as a body also contributed so much to the ineffective of our educational system. Let me start from primary school, or let me start from secondary school. Even from primary school, and I will start from teachers. Nigerian teachers, we prefer to abscond from school in order for them to attend Bible study. Nigerian teachers, we are prepared to leave schools in order for them to go for revival, to go for outreach or to go out for church programs, they will leave school, and then when they come back, and now somebody may ask me, how do I know this? Maybe I should give you a little background about myself. I studied counseling, guidance and counseling, and then while I was doing my master's, I have to go back to my school to do an internship. In that internship, I was placed to monitor our counseling center. So from there, I have to deal with a lot of problems that relate with students. Even after my master's, I still work with the department till this moment. Though I am working with them on a voluntary level, but I am part of their research team, and then I handle students every day in and out. So I know what I'm talking about because of that experience and my training. I was trained, and then I was sent for teaching practice more than 4 times, which has given me understanding of how educational system work in Nigeria. So when I say primary school teachers, secondary school teachers, all of them abscond from school in order for them to attend crusade, revival, church program, camp. Somebody will leave school for 1 week. He will not come to a principal will not show in school for 1 week, and when he comes back, he will say, our church is having a camp. We are having 1 week program. But a principal of a school, leaving that school for 1 week to attend. Teachers will do the same. And one of the things that they talk about is, what do you mean? This is the work of God. God is pleased with it.
They have an excuse, an alibi.
So then, if you tell them that this what you are doing is not right, they will be like, you are antichrist. You are devil. You are, I mean, that is their own mentality. Now, apart from what the school does, churches, I'm still on primary and secondary school. Now, in secondary school now, churches come with gospel to students in order for them to start Friday fellowship in secondary school. Every Friday, the Muslim associations are having their own, the Christian associations are having their own. Churches bring gospel, asking students to form a fellowship, none of them thinking of building a laboratory for them. Nobody is equipping their library. Nobody is thinking of building a library for schools. Rather, they come and they will build a chapel in schools. They will donate chapels where students can worship. That is for secondary school. Let me go to university level now. So now, at university level, and then let me also give a background on why I decided to speak on this thing. This was a book I read. This book, How to Become Great Through Time Conversion. So when I read this book, on the page 8, the page 8 spoke about the rule of 1,000 hours, the rule of 10,000 hours, 10,000 hours.
Yes.
That you can learn anything if you can dedicate 10,000 hours to that.
Yes.
Then I began to ask myself, so it means if a student will have 4 years to himself, no disturbance, no worries, nobody calling for any other thing, they know if in school, if I try to multiply the hour available to that student. Within that 4 years, he has 30-something hours. So if I have 10,000 hours to master any level of skill, and I'm having 30-something hours to me, if I just get 1,000 out of these 30-something hours, 10,000 hours out of these 30-something hours, I can become anything. Why are students not becoming anything? Then I still, the other thing that now opened my eyes totally was the teaching on high yielding and low yielding.
Yes.
We are beginning to see, oh, so even attending services in the name of God, it still can result to low-yielding life. The reality don't want me that while Nigerian students are not achieving anything, then I will give you analysis. This is the analysis of a typical student who gain admission to university, college of education, or polytechnic. And I'm speaking from the perspective of what I do. In my university today, I am the one in charge of the counseling center that attend to students. I do that on a voluntary job. But I relate with them on a daily basis. Now, when you gain admission in 100 level, the first thing that happens to a student that gain admission in 100 level is every campus fellowship. And don't forget, every churches has their own campus fellowship. Redeem has his own, Winners has his own, Cherubim and Seraphim has his own, Mountain of Fire has his own. Every churches, name it, almost all of them have their own campus fellowship. And then the same church that has campus fellowship, they are also in the city where the campus are. But students must join the campus fellowship. So when you come on as 100 level student, every campus fellowship go after students. They call them catch them young. They begin to do awareness on why you should join them, come and worship with us. So in long run, people get their home members and they join them. When you join a campus fellowship, the first thing you will be introduced to is what they call discipleship class, workers in training class. You will pass through that will take a student 1 month. So, and they resume to that class every 3 p.m. They will be there sometime till 9 p.m. I am telling you, all the level students that got admission, all of them, at least 85% of them pass through that process. When you start workers in training class, before you can join any unit in campus fellowship, you have to be part of a unit. So before you can join any unit, you pass through workers in training. And that workers in training will take them a month. You'll be going from class to fellowship every 3 p.m. I have records from different campus fellowship. I call students and I ask them, how does your workers in training structure looks like? Almost 85% of them gave me the same time and the same hour, from 3 to 9 every day. They will go on Monday to Saturday. They will attend service on Sunday. After service, they will wait behind to also continue the training. After they are through with that workers in training, the second training now is discipleship class. This one is now another training that every one of them who they claim that if you want to be strong in the Lord, training you to be strong. So by the time you finish from that campus, workers in training, you'll be given a project to carry out. That training is a mini project. You will write research. You will go and take one topic related to religion, another thing. You will, before you know it, first semester exam is closed. Before you know it, the student wouldn't have even attended visit library for once. They wouldn't have. And then the only thing they do now is you get materials, read it just to pass and have a good result. So eventually, they make them to believe that, it is not about how much you struggle. It's about the favor of the Lord that come upon you. This is exactly what you. One other thing you must also know, dear, is that for every campus fellowship, there is what they call national convention. Before I get to that, point number 2, most churches have their own campus fellowship. I've said that. Most churches go after students. I've said that. You are required to pass through a foundational class, workers in training, and discipleship class. Okay, so after that, after you have passed through workers in training, you will now join a unit. When you join a unit, either you can only join 2, the maximum of 3, minimum of 1. Let's say averagely I join 2. I'm in drama unit and choir unit. Choir members, campus fellowship meets once a week if there is no special program. If there is a special program, they have overnight program, overnight rehearsal. But if there's no special program, they meet every Saturday for rehearsal. And this is campus fellowship program weekly. They have Bible study during the week, Friday revival, Sunday they have service. So our members must go to church 3 times a week. Either you are a member of a unit or not, you must go to church 3 times a week. If you are now a member of a unit, you must go to church 5 times minimally a week. 5 times.
This is apart from the... Anyway, continue.
The 5 times I'm talking about now is, if you are not a member of any unit, you are just a member, you must go to church 3 times for Bible study, for Friday revival, and for Sunday service.
Oh.
If you are not a member of a unit, you must attend service minimum 5 times. 2 of that time, you are attending rehearsal. Thursday for rehearsal. Saturday for rehearsal. That is for campus fellowship. That is for campus fellowship. The second fellowship is what they call faculty fellowship. The faculty fellowship also is designed for all faculty members. Christian Association of Faculty of Education. They hold their program once a week. The second campus fellowship is departmental fellowship. These ones also hold their program once a week. So apart from the church campus fellowship program you attend, you still have 2 other fellowship in the school to attend. Now, apart from that, they still have groups. They call it prayer group, different groups, religious groups that meet once a week for prayer, for discussion, for study, Bible study. This is typical routine of an average student. As I said earlier, there are other factors. Those who are not going to church, they spend their time at bar. Those ones are another case. But the one I'm talking now is as related to religion. A student spends average 5 hours around religious activities every day. Averagely. You will spend averagely 5 hours around religion activities. Okay? Campus fellowship, join campus fellowship. If you are an ESCO, now this is another level. Apart from being ordinary member in the fellowship, departmental fellowship, faculty fellowship, ordinary member and a worker, when you become an ESCO, and this happened to me when I was in other level, my CGPA was 4.68. That is first class. So my HOD called me and he said, we saw your work and we want you to continue. So when I got to 200 level, I was made the prayer call, Baba Fire. So after the section, it was terrible. Because I was practically becoming no more student. I was just going from one student to another, go and pray for this one, go and deliver this one, go and say this one free. When my mate and read when they are studying, and then when my result came out.
What happened, Namaya?
They took life. Can I hold it there?
Butiri, you. African reality for you. I just everything went blank. What's that? They took light. Never. People here in Europe, they don't even know how to understand this. They would never understand this. Wow. These people in Africa are so strong. They have to deal with so many things. I mean, having to deal with this kind of thing is just unbelievable. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Please, let's go and share the message. This thing that we are talking about is so serious. It's so serious. Please go and share. Now he has to go and put on the generator or go and put oil in the generator. Please go and share the message. Share, everyone. But also, if you want to come to Ukraine and be with us for the History Makers training, please write to hmt@godembassy.org, or you could go to sundayadelajablog.com/hmt. All right. I think our brother is back. Hello, Israel.
Yes, sir. I'm so sorry. This is Nigeria and its peculiarity. I'm so sorry.
Okay, let's continue.
Okay, so as I was saying, apart from being, so I became firebrand. I was praying to deliver everybody. And when my result came out, I did not have more than 2.2 as my GPA.
Wow.
That dropped me totally from 4.68. I went down straight to 3 point something.
Wow.
And that was how I lost it. I fell in that line. Okay? When you become an ESCO, you now have to spend more time on religious activities than ordinary members. And this is what happened. Because if you are now a president, you are supposed to behave like a pastor of the fellowship. You go after every member. When you spend your time going after them, and then that is exactly how it affects them. And then the pastor is now like the head of the church. They feed him with campus fellowship money. The sister called is now the one that cook for him. And then
the sister what? Sister what?
Sister called.
What's
sister
that?
Coordinator.
Coordinator. Okay.
Sister coordinator. So everyone is aspiring to become a pastor. That is the president of the campus fellowship, the pastor of the fellowship, because of the honor, the respect attached to it.
The privileges.
So attached to it. So messages that also make students to feel studying hard is not what is important. A message like it is not by might but by grace.
Okay.
Testimony like last semester I didn't study so much, but I thank God I'm having A in this course. So the other student that heard that, oh, this lady didn't spend much time studying. Yes, she's having a good grade. The other person thinks there's no big deal. He doesn't need to study so hard. That begins to kill their sense of hard working. sense of hardworking, and lecturers that try to be so very tough that is demanding from them what is expected them to do. Such lecturers' names are taken for prayer. Yeah. You will submit the name and then they will make sure that they pray that God should silence him. Okay, so these are the factors. Other thing that also has been affecting the educational system is the act of national convention. Students would be taken from campuses away for camp program of their national program for a week, some for 2 weeks, and then such will take them totally out of the school. Totally out of the school. And for this alone, when they come back, they believe that with what they have done, God will reward them with great mark. God will reward them with good mark. That when it is not how much you read, it's about how much grace you enjoy.
1 day of favor is better than 10 years of labor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That those who even read and read, and then also other messages that affect us here is messages like those who are finished before you, they did not get job. It is only God that can secure you a job.
Okay.
So people believe that if you work so hard for God on campus, if you work very hard, if you are a member of campus fellowship and you work so hard, when you come out of the school, you quickly get a job. There is no consciousness to think that 4 years of my staying on this campus, I want to achieve something that nobody has ever achieved. And I do say that the peculiarity of Nigeria educational system should even give us opportunity to achieve more. How do I mean? It's hardly for you to have a section without a strike.
Without
strike.
Strike. Okay.
Presently, universities are on strike. This is supposed to be converted to an opportunity. Opportunity to say, oh, this time of out of school, I am not going home. I will be in library. I will stay at school. I will study. I will research. And when the school resumes, you are just like you are done with the section. But instead of Nigerian Christians, Nigerian students who are Christians, to think in that manner, they would decide to go away to one retreat. Now, all of them are in retreat now everywhere because it's the end of the year. So retreats are going on now. Strike is not good for our educational system at all. But even as bad as that is, it can be converted to opportunity. Instead of using 4 years, they are now helping you to expand the year to 5 years. So what you could not achieve within 4 years, because there's a 5 years available for you, you cannot convert that 5 years to achieving something better. All we think is the more we are engaged in religious activities, the more we are involved in religious activities, the more we demonstrate our love for God. The expression of loving God in Nigeria as of today is that you must be so versatile, involved in religious activities. The more church you attend, the more you are committed to programs of, revivals, crusade, and also the more you are so religious, the more you are close to God. That is one of the factors. And this is how religiosity is killing our educational system. Government has its own part to play, nevertheless. But the question I ask is, have we ever asked ourselves, how are we destroying the educational system? Other factor that allowed education to go drain is the bring your pen prayer.
Bring your pen.
Bring your pen prayer.
When?
Churches will have students. Campus fellowship will have students to bring their pen when exam is closed.
But now it's computer now.
They don't use computer. We are still using pen. So when you bring your pen, you will raise it up and they will pray and bless it so that you can pass. And then eventually the pen does not have brain on its own. It's what it throws in your brain that flow to the pen. These are the things, these are the ways through which we are just destroying our educational system. But anyone who is watching this now, what comes to their mind is these are atheists, these are liars, this is not real. I have somebody who was debating this with us. I said, look, I'm not just working on campus. I handle problems, student core academic problems. And when you ask them, tell me how you spend your day from Monday to Sunday. This is the typical ways in which students spend their day. When they wake up 6 a.m., for example, they use 1 hour to pray, to read Bible, to meditate. They have this daily manna, rhapsody of reality, different books like that. After an hour, they wake up, take their bath, and they go to class. They will be in class till 3 o'clock. From 3 o'clock, they are going to to fellowship. They will be in fellowship till 8 o'clock, till 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. After the fellowship, they will leave and go back to their house and sleep. Then I begin to ask them, how do you intend to improve your academic education when you spend your time like this? I am talking about those who are church boys, church girls. If it's those who are not really church persons, their whole schedule is different. But I'm focusing on those who are church persons, because this is religious effect on the educational system. Yes, sir. Let me say this. Nigeria religion detests scholasticism.
What?
As we are saying before, Nigeria education detests scholastic. Do you hear me, sir?
What is scholastic?
Scholastic means they detest you being philosophical.
Scholar. Okay.
When you're philosophical about it, you are putting things into hypotheses. When you analyze them, they say, "Oh, wisdom killeth." You can't bring the thing of God to the thing of the world to the thing of. That is how they kill it. When anybody come and begin to challenge churches, this is how they kill the scholastic spirit in every Christian. They preach messages like the Lord will confuse the wise by the fools. So when they tell you that, they will tell you that Bible is not philosophy. Bible is spiritual. And the guy that is being philosophical is trying to reason out what is written in the Bible, questioning what is receiving. In the course of questioning, for him to arrive at the truths. But by the time he starts questioning that scripture, they will kill it there. They say, if you can't walk in faith, if you begin to think, you can use your brain. So Christians in Nigeria they don't think of bringing knowledge, education, philosophy, reasoning into religion. By the time you begin to bring reasoning to religion, they tag you as you are using human brain, human head, human wisdom. So definitely, instantly keep that spirit in you. Okay. For example, if somebody say, be born again, then somebody is asking, define born again. What do you mean by born again? What happened when I'm born again? You are trying to ask so many questions. They will kick out in you and say, if you use human brain, human reasoning, you cannot arrive at the truth. So, if you want to, you also want to pray as a good Christian, you just give up. You just withdraw from going further. And also, Nigeria students that supposed to be inquisitive, search, ask questions, demand for questions of why do we do this? When they quote Bible like, do not remove the landmark of our forefather. They will tell you, this is what we do, how we do it. Because you also want to play like a Christian, like a good Christian, you will withdraw. And then that mentality is killing our scholastic reasoning, our sense of juxtaposing facts. You tell me Jesus is the way to heaven. Okay, how do you mean? How can I establish this? How can this be established? Where is the fact? Where is the fact? Show me the fact. I cannot find the fact. And then they will tell you, the word of God does not base on fact, it's based on truth. But I have taken time to share the last HMT with many of them, to come and see how somebody is able to, using fact to explain spirituality, and then showing them in the Bible. Then I said, look at the way scholasticism is proving God existence. But here, if you want to be scholastic, you are already gone. You are no longer Christian. You are just one of those professor-led Bible. But because you cannot see what is written here, you cannot understand the mystery of God. I was baffled, sir. I was baffled when I listened to HMT on conversion. Then I took it to one of these guys I know who are spiritual. Is in academic too. I said, come and see a man who was able to interpret the Bible using science to explain the Bible. I said, I have never. When he listened to it, he was like, this is true. And this guy is in science. He's a doctor. He's a doctor in faculty of science. So this is true. But if anyone try to explain Bible using empirical information, academic research, paper writing, educational discourse, brainstorming, you are trying to use those are going to explain Bible that will tell you the wisdom of man cannot explain the thing of God. And so when they tell you that kind of a thing, the spirit dies. Why it dies? Because they made to see that God and the school knowledge are not the same.
Did you listen to my HMT on the art of questioning?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I listened to it, and I have done some talk on it as well. The art of questioning. I listened to it, and then it was even that time that period of questioning that I started a movement on campus. I did a poster and I began to paste it. If you don't understand, ask them. If you don't know, just ask. What is it? Ask them. So I was doing that kind of thing around the campus. But the spirit is no longer, it's not there. Because the religion has dealt with people so much that they believe God is about you go and say, spirit, and when somebody pick any information that he has gotten anywhere, maybe he has gotten it, he has read some books, and he's trying to say, oh, this book is challenging Bible. This book is challenging Bible. How can I explain Bible from the life of this book? That will tell the person, if you go further, you are not going to see God. God is faith. You cannot. So with that mentality of no scholastic, no empirical analysis, no need for academic discourse, Nigerian students are not aspiring to research into the mysteries of God and bringing the mysteries to explain how to produce anything. Last HMP conversion, I could understand the mystery behind missiles. So this is the simple mystery behind missiles. And this thing is written in the Bible. Somebody is using scientific research to explain what is happening, how things are slowed down, how myself, I come to realize, oh, this is how I'm formed. But if you use that in religious setting in Nigeria of today, and one of the reasons why this happens is when the pastor have an inferior knowledge, he shut the member up because he doesn't want him to outshine him.
Wow.
Because he does not understand the principles of science and how it's related to the Bible. And when a member is trying to use that to explain, he said, no, that is not scripture. The word of God is not the wisdom of man. They see knowledge in science, knowledge, DSA was saying something, I jot it down. When we are to start, you are saying something, so I wanted to. Okay, I'm still coming there when you say you are going to ban campus fellowship.
Yes.
It's like, let me give example of Professor Oloyede. Professor Oloyede was former Vice Chancellor of the University of Ilorin. When he became a Vice Chancellor, he sent all the campus fellowship on campus out. And he said, only one campus fellowship will exist. Only two. They have the chapel. The chapel is meant for all students. And they have Catholic. He said, only one Muslim center will exist. That is Center for Muslims to worship. Before this man carry out this, on that campus, they have more than, if I'm not exaggerating, they have more than 200 campus fellowship.
Wow.
The man sent all of them packing, and they name him fanatics. They call him several names: antichrist, anti-gospel. They even raise prayer warriors. But the man did not die. He's not the head of NECO. He didn't die. But because anyone that tried to go in that line, to us in Nigeria, it's like you are fighting against God. You are fighting against God. And then, when you begin to say, when you see a brother who, let me give you another instance. In my church, sometimes ago, they wanted to set up a library, so they asked us to donate books. Then I bought some educational books, some political theories books, some biography of successful businessmen like Dangote, Bill Gates, Oscar. I bought many of those books. Then I brought it to the church to donate it to our library. Then the librarian called me and said, Brother Israel, we can't take some book into a library. I said, why? He said, because the wisdom of man cannot be shared in the body of Christ. Then I asked the man, you work, who is your CEO? Who employs you? Who is? Then he mentioned the name of that his boss, the owner of the company he worked with. The man happened to be a Muslim. I said, you are so foolish, eh? You are so foolish not to think that you need to go and learn how he was able to start this business. You think, I don't know, the way our brain operates here. When students are encouraged to read book in church, when students are encouraged to read book in church, they are encouraged to read book like The Power of Faith, Step to Your Success, Tongue at Upper House, different religion books. When students are encouraged to read books, those are the books they encourage them to read. And so, when they want to read about political theories, they only pick the material given to them by lecturers, they will glass through it, memorize it, just for them to have A. But when they begin to see you that you are carrying some books, maybe you are carrying the book of Kamal, Socrates, you are with the book of Plato, you are reading the book of Niccolo Machiavelli. Say, bro, you are following the trend of philosophers. They will brainwash you. You will not believe in God anymore. And this kill our educational system. It killed curiosity. It killed desire to find out more. We don't even know how things are built. Why? Not because. Definitely, I agree with the point that our library is like a mushroom. Our library. It can't be boast of any library to say, I can enter this library and I can study any level of anything from this library. We don't have library. But as bad as our library is, the question I still ask is, have we explored the one there? Can anybody boldly tell me that they have gone through their departmental shelf and they've read at least 50% of the textbooks here? In fact, 20%. No. We don't see that as the need for Christians to go. Because the more you go in that line, the more we believe that you are becoming ungodly. You are becoming unchristian. That the word of God is not the same as the knowledge of man. This is killing our educational system. Government may produce a conducive environment today. Government may give us stable light. You know, there is a trend everywhere now. People are saying Nigeria does not need light. If government should give us a stable light today, what are we going to do with it? Let's even assume that we have free internet. What are we going to be doing with it? I can tell you what Nigeria will do with it. I know I'm not talking about other people. I'm talking about Christians, church people. I'm talking about church boys, church girls. If you give us free internet today, that will have been used to research, to study, to understand the line of the business. Nigerians will use that free internet only to be watching live crusade, praise program somewhere, revival going on somewhere. They will be online. They will be saying, I have the touch of God. Oh, Holy Ghost fell on me. I am in spirit. And then they just feel the goods without the products. We could not receive revelation of productions. You know, I read a book that you wrote, sir. How to become Steve Jobs.
How to raise the next generation of Steve Jobs and Bill Gates.
How to raise the next Steve Jobs. So when I read that book, it was talking about the revelation you receive is in relationship with the level of how your mind is being developed.
Yes.
But if God will not relate how to build a jet to you if you don't even have a mind that is developed to that level.
Yes.
So, I said, this is actually true. Several times, when we think of, but we can stop crime through, fake products. Fake products, like, there's nothing Nigeria cannot pirate. For example, they parade milk, they parade drinks, Malta Guinness, Coca-Cola, picnic, everything. Nigerians can parade, they are parading them. All this wine, whiskey, everything, they are being paraded. And I said, this can be stopped by merely build an app and a barcode. Build a barcode on a product, develop a app. When I buy the product, I take my app and I scan the code. It can, if the code is not original, it will not sign it. But the idea dropped in my mind because I don't even know how to build a app. I don't even know how to develop a barcode. That's exactly the problem Nigerians are having. Nigerians could not receive the idea of building our own aircraft. Students cannot think of developing something from the campus because the mind of Nigerian students is not built. Our mind is not built to be an inventor. Our mind is only built to be job seekers,
consumers,
and consumers. And how does it happen? It happened like when we spend our time going after religion, thinking we are going after God. Secondly, when our messages is directly killing intellectualism. When our message is directly killing intellectualism, then we are killing the educational system. Let's say the message that you have been speaking about is now becoming what all students are listening to. I read as little as I could, but since I started listening to some things that you are saying, I feel like I have never read any book in my life. I was like, how much this man knows this much? I mean, it's not 300 years. This man is just over 50.
It's not 300 years.
I mean, if we have been 300 years now, we are saying he has been here for a long time now. He has been reading for a long time. He used 19 years of his life in Nigeria. So, let's say 30-something years he has been reading. How was he able to know so much? There was a day you mentioned something said you can name the name of all presidents in Nigeria and all the country, all presidents in the world and all the country in the world. My man was blown away. I said, how does he read? This such a mindset is what is in the Nigerian student. Sir, let them give us no classroom. Nigeria will build their own nation themselves. Let no one give us no good road. Nigeria will develop a road by themselves. But how do you develop a road when you don't even know what is needed to develop that road? When we only pray to have a good nation and nobody is sending students to go and study in a library. Nobody is saying, don't come to church for the next 2 weeks, go and lock yourself in laboratory. If you miss service as an ESCO on campus, you miss a program, and they ask you, why did you come for Wednesday Bible study? And you say, you are in library reading. You will not return as an ESCO. That will be the end of the ESCOship. If you miss program as an ESCO, and they ask you, why are you not in the church? And you say, I am somewhere in a laboratory with my friend, we are doing an experiment. No. If Nigeria Nigerian church, and I'm concerned about church now, we accept the responsibility to say that we have killed our nation. They've destroyed our nation. They introduced Jesus to them, they preached the gospel, and they made us to believe that too much knowledge is bad. That is it. Ask anybody. That is the message. Too much knowledge for the Nigerian student is very bad. Because the more you know, the more they think you become an atheist. Because when you know too much, And you begin to question things that we do. They say you are becoming an atheist. No, recently my name is now an atheist. I'm now an atheist to everybody. I'm no longer a Christian to them. But because when you begin to question what you yourself have been doing before, and you say, this is not right. That is exactly how church, religion, or if the word religion is being used, we cannot also narrow it down to Christianity alone, because Muslims also have their own paths. They also play their own part, but I cannot speak authoritatively on them because I am not part of them. But I know they also have their own nonsensical nonsense that they do that is killing everyone. Knowledge, particularly the Muslim, European knowledge is forbidden. To a fanatic Muslim, to an average Muslim, too much of European knowledge is a taboo. Boko Haram is interpreted Boko Haram, that is anti-European knowledge. Book is taboo. For them to go read and study on how things are being is a taboo. And therefore, when they begin to tell people that the knowledge of God can solve economic problem of a nation, even when professors are confused, that's where it starts from. They will now go back and they will cite the story of Joseph. That Joseph has no teacher. Yet he was able to save nation from what I call it, famine. They said Joseph had no teacher, but he was able to save nation from famine. And they said, what do you need? The Bible even said that when you have the Holy Spirit, you will know more than your teachers. It is better to spend time with the Holy Spirit than spending time with books. And then when they preach such a message to you, you will also begin to reason. You also begin to see that this is true. But what they just preach is all lie. And then they kill the curiosity.
It's called intellectual curiosity.
The intellectual curiosity, desire for knowledge, pursuit of information, pursuit of research is killed in us. And therefore, nobody knows how to do anything. You don't know. We use laptop. We use internet. We don't even know how the internet is used. We don't know. But if today, government has failed us, no doubt, but religion has failed us the more. I have seen people within the campus fellowship within the campus school, within schools that have triumphed as a student whom government has also failed. What do I mean? The failure of government applies to all of us. Within that failing, I have seen students that have done something worthwhile. I have seen students that have built from the scratch, that has built a machine that can convert physics to power generating power. I saw it in Lagos Ibadan. Myself, a student, built it. I have seen students that have built what I call this thing that they used to record. I forgot the name now. They used to record. It's like a helicopter, but they used to do recording. Drone. I have seen students that build drone. They build drone. How are they able to build it? From the scratch. Yet, all of us are being disappointed. Government have put all of us down. If you check those people that did those things, they are not church boys. They are guys who spend their time in library. I have seen students that have used their time, they've invested their time in library, and they've gained international recognitions, and what scholarship has been given to them to follow their education anywhere in the country, but they were not able to get it on a platter of gold. They spend more time on books. They don't read religious books. They read books that is related to their disciplines. So, to me, and this is what I want to say so far, that the religious activity, church, as concerns me, has contributed eminently, greatly, to the falling and destruction of our academic system. The wall, the edifice, the buildings, the good environment, learning environment are important, but they are not the essential. As a matter of fact, people that invent all these things that we are building on today, they don't have the 10% of the facility we are having today. How many schools were in the United States when electricity was invented? All the findings that we are recording, we are learning today, how many of them have opportunity to what we are having opportunity to today? We may not have free internet, but at least there is an internet. In those days, it's either you have the hard copy or you don't have anything. What are we doing with it? And this also, and people say, how does it concern church? Well, it concerns church as I put it, because church has managed to kill the intellectual curiosity through three basic means: through testimony of people on the pulpits. I want to give glory to the name of the Lord. I finished with pass, and after I finished, I was dedicated in my school. I worked so hard in my fellowship. God rewarded me with a good job with Shell Oil. Exxon Mobil grant me a job. Though I finished with pass, because God who saw my labor on my campus fellowship, or when I was serving, I was a member of NCCF. I worked so hard, and God has rewarded me with good job. She will not tell them that she slept with the CEO. She will have the testimony that she actually slept with the manager. But she will say because she was hardworking when she was on campus. And so, when you as a student who is working so hard have that testimony, you will say, it's like I'm wasting my time. They will not bring a brother. Now, yes, please, look at this. They won't bring a brother that will say, I want to thank God for the success of my academy. Because when I was in school, I studied nothing less than 10 hours every day. And because I studied 10 hours, the result come up. They will not bring you. They will say you are elevating the strength of man. You are elevating the strength of man. That with no man's strength, no man will win by his own strength. That's what we are talking about. You are telling people that it's by your strength, not by God. This guy has only obeyed the principle of God. Hard work pays. Show me a man diligent in his own assignment. He will stand before kings, not before mere men. This man only telling the people that I obey the principle of the word of God, and here I am today. I got first class. They will not bring you on the other. But when somebody come and said, in my 400 level, I have 4 carryover. Look at that testimony. I have 4 carryover. And then the man of God came visiting, and he asked all of us that have carryover to come forward. I went out and he laid hand on me. And then miraculously, I don't know how my carryover was wiped away. She's not saying the truth. She has slept with the lecturer. He is not saying the truth. He has bled, he has bribed the lecturer. But they will say it is by the laying of the man of God that led to the carryover being taken away. And the testimony will be like, I want to thank God. I didn't study this course more than 2 hours. But eventually, I got A. In fact, some of my friends are read so hard, they only have B. And when you that is reading so hard that, what comes to your mind is, it seems God does not bless a man through hard work. That factor kills mindset of intellectual curiosity. It killed hard work. It turned Nigerian students to become lazy. Secondly, the second way they kill is by religious activities, which I have analyzed in the beginning. How lecturers, teacher we have come from class to attend CAR program, teacher will go away to attend revival, how students become church activities involved, and they are not minding visiting library, reading, studying, organizing tutorial, group study does not take place except when exam is 2 weeks to start. They read to pass. They read to pass. And after exam, whatever they have been taught, they cannot remember. The third way, the third part of it, which is one of the greatest weapons, is the messages that kill intellectual curiosity. Such messages like, do not think God will use the wisdom of man. Don't think science. You know, I wrote something on my Facebook, and somebody came to me and said, are you saying that people should stop going to church and they become atheists? And I said, you see that when somebody is not going to church anymore, he has become atheist. If you begin to prove anything to them scientifically, they will tell you, sir, can we talk Bible? To Nigerian Christians, science is not Bible. Bible and science, they don't come. They are two parallel. They don't meet. That whatever is scientific is demonic, is satanic, is the knowledge of the devil. And I asked them, I said, the phone you are using, what produces? You drive a car. Okay, this was a discussion with some of my friends, and I told them, I said, can we do something? Can you please close your eyes for a minute and think of returning everything you are having on you back to where it's been produced. For example, return your wristwatch to the producer, to the country that produces it. Return your car. Return your. If this thing is not produced in Nigeria, return it back. Where do you find yourself? The person agreed that we find ourselves in 1804. Because Nigeria does not produce anything. And you say science is bad. The science that is bad is producing everything we are using on the platform for the gospel. And for us to begin to make these things a center of our message, it is not godly, it is preached as is devil, is demonic. And I come to conclusion that Nigeria religion, Nigeria church has contributed to destruction of our academic system. Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful argument. Beautiful submission. Let me find out if there is anybody that wants to call, just in any case, if anybody would like to phone into the program. And meanwhile, while we are looking for that, I want to say that if those of you who don't know what Israel was talking about, he was talking about HMT. And if you have not listened to those History Makers training, you can go to the YouTube and find them and listen to them. And we have a lot of recordings there. Also, you want to, if you want to attend the next HMT, which is coming up in February, from the 2nd to the 7th, It will also be an interesting period of time that will be life-changing to anyone that comes. So February 2nd to 7th, if you want to come, go to sundayadelajablog.com/hmt, or you could write to hmt@godembassy.org. And let's go and share this message, because this is so revolutionary. I think the Minister of Education should get this, and the government, the politicians should get this, so that we will be able to do something about and rescue our nation. Because there is no scholarship and there is no science. No science, no scholarship, then there is no progress. Those are the two bases for civilization to come. Civilizations are based on those two things. And since we don't have them, we don't stand a chance. So this is a very, very important discussion we're having today. And for those of you who want to read my books, you can get them on Amazon or on Kindle Unlimited. If you want to buy them in bulk, you could write to our office, DSS Books, DSS Books @gmail.com, and they will be cheaper than on Amazon. But this topic is so important. Wow, I didn't know things as bad as this. This is just terrible, very, very horrible. Religion has killed the country. And I want to use this opportunity to invite all of you for 10 o'clock Ukraine time tomorrow. That is like 8 o'clock British time and 9 o'clock Nigerian time in the morning. I am going to be releasing a video. It's going to be called the Elijah Challenge. I'm issuing a challenge to the GOs and the bishops in Nigeria tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the morning. So I'm inviting all of you, 10 o'clock Ukraine time, 9 o'clock Nigerian time, 8 o'clock British time. Just be on YouTube or on Facebook. We are going to be releasing that video tomorrow. It's going to be called the Elijah Challenge, Sunday at Elijah's Challenge, to all the GOs and the senior pastors and the bishops in Nigeria. So it's going to be the most revolutionary thing that I've ever done. And I want to invite all of you, I want to challenge all of you to go ahead and share the video once it comes out tomorrow. Share it, share the video, share the link with as many people as possible. And I'm sure it's going to bring a whole lot of anger and hatred, but I've got to do what I need to do. So I'm inviting you to go watch it tomorrow at 10 o'clock and to share it with your friends and to actually play it on your platform. What you can do, you can actually play those videos on your live broadcast. Do live broadcast with that video. It's just 17 minutes video, but it's going to be revolutionary. All right. Do we have a caller or not? It's like we have a caller coming in. And this is so good, what you have done, Israel. You have really opened my eyes. And I'm sure the eyes of others have been opened too. Hello? Do we have a caller? Okay, no. Okay, all right, so what would you like to say, Israel, to everybody watching us before we go? Oh, he's gone. Sorry. Okay, guys, that's it. If we couldn't get through to the people who wanted to call us, but I want us to go and share this message. And in the next 30 minutes, I'll be coming back again to do the message on high-yielding life versus low-yielding lifestyle. High-yielding lifestyle versus low-yielding lifestyle. So see you, everybody, in the next 30 minutes. Peace.